Hello everyone and welcome to tracc.eu's Vtracc Season 24-3. This is the third season this year that we have of Vtracc where VTubers from around the world race on circuits internationally renowned in GT3 machinery to the best of their abilities. All of which trying to have fun. All the while, they are trying to have the best of fun. Look at the beautiful scenery that we already have. This is Suzuka in the Night. This is the first race this season. I'm Julian Strasser, and with me in the commentary booth is Adrian Dubrovka. How you doing, Adrian?
Well, pretty excited, kinda, because Suzuka is always one of the both at the same time quicker tracks, but as well very technical ones. So unless you can find your pace and your rhythm, especially in the first sector, it might turn very messy very quickly.
Yeah, that might be a mess, especially as we have a very good field size today. We have 23 cars lining up today, all of which are currently already in the server. We've got 2 splits this season. We've got the Pro split and the Am split, with plenty of drivers in each split to go around. There will be battles. There will be 2 championships to be won at the end of the season. 6-round season, by the way. And, well, I'm just excited for it as well. Yeah, we're seeing Ruby Nekomata right now making her way around the Dagnus for the outlap. So, he already said that there's going to probably be a bit of, well, incident happiness, maybe? We don't hope so, of course. But given that it looks to be dry, do you think that that will help the drivers in keeping it safe today?
That's hard to put. The Suzuka in many corners is a very dirt track, especially at night. So where there might be some advantages for some that know to track especially well, it may be disadvantages. It might be a very disadvantaged track for some people who are not really that well acclaimed with the track, that they don't know it really well. So even if the weather will be fine, a lot of driving might be on a pure instinct basis.
Yeah, that is Correct, totally agree with you. But we are seeing the Ruby Nekomata is making their way around the final corner here. And we are going to take a look at a lap with Adrian Dubrovka.
The starting straight begins with a relatively big speed beat. When we are getting into the so-called first corner, you get a very quick double right-hander that turns directly into a series of left and right turns. Each one being slower and slower as shown by Ruby, but each one is getting more and more technical. We go into upwards, we go into so-called Dunlop corner, very long left-hander where people often can make mistakes here on the left inside. Then go into the Degner, which is another double right-hander going into underpass. Going into the next 180 degrees corner, the hairpin. People will be fighting for every single piece of place in that corner because the next upcoming straight and corner 200R is definitely one of the places where winning the pace on the previous corner will win you a lot of time, which can be unfortunately very easily lost into a spun curve. Another very long corner going left and going into the backstretch. And then the most iconic corner of them all, of the Suzuka, the 130R, testing the limits of each driver and of their cars. Which ends up in a Castillo triangle. And the last curve, which is, well, easy from looks, but can be very treacherous if you can't keep up your grip way too well.
And this is already the first lap that we have got going on, and it is already a flyer. We have got 159s immediately from the get-go here from Ruby Nekomata as well as Miata, who is one of the newer drivers. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they are from the Chinese team? From from X-Ring.
Yes, they are. They recently came back after a year of fiasco. And now they are back at full force. We will see what they are capable of doing, because we can already see that they have quite a few quick players out there capable of getting even the highest places of the grid.
Exactly. Miata is not the only person. We have Iser Ambra, who we've seen in the past as well as being a very quick but slightly inconsistent driver. Today looking to make the best of the situation. Currently in P3, 4 tenths behind the lead. And in P4, obviously, we have the reigning champion, Lucas Lichten, who won Pro Split last season. There's a yellow flag currently out somewhere on the circuit, but that won't bother Lucas Lichten as some car pulls to the back right in front of them. Lucas Lichten, of course, sporting his Porsche as he did last season. However, I think we're going to have to watch Iser Ambra right now. Actually, before the Ruby Nekomata, because Ruby is up 2 tenths on her times. This could challenge for provisional pole position here, taking a much curve through the Casio triangle. And now coming on to the main straight is Queen's Design Pan on Formula, going to take the provisional pole right now with a 159 mid. Yes, she is, just 42 hundredths. However, Iser Ambra is quickly coming around and losing a bit of time now through the Casio triangle, having had quite the hand up previously. However, it's only 2 tenths up now. This could, well, it looks to stay in third position, but improving on the time. Midnight Hurricane as well, being in fourth position, also driving for X-Ring. Lucas Lichten now in P5 and also 3 tenths up on his time. What a show by these people. Already putting the pace, putting the pedal to the metal. The paddle. No, not the petal, the pedal to the metal. Lucas Lichten improving, but not improving in position.
This will be definitely a shutout between BMWs and Honda's current race. I remember from the one time when I drove on Suzuka, Honda's maneuverability always outmatched that of, at least of my V12 Vantage. In here we will hopefully be able to see what the Hondas are capable of in the good hands, and at the same time we will see whether the powertrain of the M4's engine is capable of doing test race. That will be interesting to see.
Yeah, will definitely be interesting to see who has the advantage here. Miata right now with the Honda is quite a bit up on their time. 1.5 tenths to be precise. All can be gained or lost in these next few corners. Oh, that looked like a very solid line through there into the Casio triangle. Miata goes. Is on track right behind Ruby, who does not seem to improve on their time right now. But he's still up on the time on the exit. 2 tenths and gaining. Let us see where Miata comes through. 1.7 tenths ahead of Nekomata to take provisional pole right now.
Seems like there will be some changes to the car setup, seems like.
There might be some changes, maybe just going out with a new set of tires and a new set of fuel. Let's go a bit to M-Class for a second, where we have Eric Gregis in the Mercedes AMG for Project GQ Racing. Actually, who just got bested by Mo Kong, I guess, who is as well driving for X-Ring. So the top 3 in AM right now is Kong, followed by Gregis and DJ Overdrive, who, as I talked to him before the race, is not very comfortable. Is not feeling very comfortable today. As I see that there are some fans of Renai Dreamfox in the chat right now. Has not set a time yet, however, seems to be on a valid lap right now, coming across the line in just a few seconds. Let's see where this lap will put Renai Dreamfox. P15 right in the midfield of the AM class.
That's very decent. As the only Audi on the grid, as far as I can see, she's definitely, or assuming that's she, definitely wants to prove something that Audi can do race as well. Because for now, what we see at the front is essentially maneuverability cars, other than AM class, of course.
Yeah. Talking about the manufacturers that we have going around, there are quite a few different ones. It seems like the majority this time around are German manufacturers, however, as we see Zula Akihara in one of the few Astons coming across the line and getting up into P2 for M class. Strong showing by Zula Akihara here, who I can say I've already had a few on-track battles with and is a fastly improving driver. Now let's take a look at one of our long-standing members. Imentrix Zanes is currently out in P17 overall. Is currently working together, it seems, with someone else. That is the Porsche of Amethysta, it looks like, as they're right behind one another. The two Germans working together a bit to try and get thoughts of the other person, what lines they need to take.
I'm not so sure there will be any team orders in this race, at least not from these two, as they seem to be driving from entirely two different teams.
Well, yes, they are driving in two different teams, but they are known. They are known within one another. As we go back to the top of AM, Kong is still in P1, but very closely followed by Eric Gregis right now. Only 1/10 between the two. This is really going to be a battle for who gets the top of AM class. What surprises me as we're at this point is that Psycho Kaiser is just right in front of them. I mean, I know Psycho didn't have the most of the time to practice for this race because he was at the VTuber convention for the past few days. However, Psycho, a former champion, of course, of VTuber racing here at tracc.eu, should in my opinion be a bit closer to the front. So if we're coming towards the end of the lap, Dirty Kohai looks to be improving on their lap time. Did improve, but did not improve in position, but setting themselves apart from Psycho Kaiser for just a bit. DJ Overdrive is currently half a second, yes, up on their time, 5/10, and looking to gain a bit more here through Spoon, taking a very wide line, and unfortunately that is invalidated.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Lexus is another car that has an advantage on the long straight. So sad that he couldn't make the use of it, at least this time. What I am most surprised though is that we are having number 213 Pro drivers relatively low on the grid right now. I wonder if it's the thing of the Ford Mustang being not really made for this track, or if it's the dark ambient we are seeing around the track all around.
Nami Zero is rather new at tracc.eu Racing, and they had a beautiful time on the pre-qualifying hot stint session. However, that is a completely different circuit. That was on Kyalami, now we're at Suzuka. So it might be a matter of being more comfortable at one track versus the other. However, if we go back to the front, we have Rubinek Komata leaving the Casio Triangle, are losing a bit of time there. Could have gained a bit of time to challenge the top two for the podium position. Rubinek Komata, of course, recently having been participating in Ferrari esports. Today, not driving a Ferrari, but the BMW of Queen's Design Pannon Formula Racing.
But we can be just as sure that just like the Ferrari esports, she will gain points in this race as well.
Well, yes, definitely. She did gain points in the Ferrari esports race and is looking to gain good points today. Now, if we go a bit further down the grid, we have DJ Overdrive currently 2/10 up on their time, looking to make it within the 3-second realm of the top. Well, what we can definitely see right now is that there is a top group developing. The top 5 right now, all within 1 second. And then there seems to be quite the gap to P6. It's an impressive showing by the top 5, showing what level that they are operating on. And they are not done improving. But DJ Overdrive still 2/10 up on his side, losing a bit here through last curve, exit of the Casio Triangle, and unfortunately it does not look like that will be an improvement. No.
Smallest mistakes.
It is the small mistakes. It was a valiant effort. Another valiant effort is being shown right now by Isa Ambra, who losing a bit of time right now on the exit of the hairpin. Currently about a 10th up on their time, just shy of that. However, crucially challenging for that provisional podium position. Oh, you can hear the tires screeching there on the exit of Spoon. But that lost a bit of time. The unsettled Honda lost about 2/10 of time for Iserambra. Oh, that was a bit sideways there on the exit of 130R. This will be an invalid lap for them.
It's very sad because a very short moment before invalidation, he actually gained quite a bit of time, but that slip costed him there in this case.
Someone else who's currently gaining time is Nami0. Zach, 8/10 up on their time. Getting into the groove around Suzuka, it seems now. Now, 7/10 up into overall P13. Quite the improvement there. And right behind we have... That was not Zen, that was Kenneth VT. Catapulting themselves into P3 for AM class. With a 2:02.712. Only 100th ahead of Zula Kihara. Kenneth VT, one of the new races around this season. Lovely to see them making the mark almost immediately. Zula Kihara, however, is looking to fight back on that. Currently 3/10 up on their time, coming out of 130R. Taking a bit of a wide line, could have hugged the curb a bit more, losing quite a bit of time through the Casio triangle, but will it be enough? There's only 100th between the two. Not much room, but Zul does it. 700ths now ahead of Kenneth VT. Now, Leggy in the BMW is currently 5/10 up on their time. However, Psycho Kaiser is also looking to improve. Coming out of the last curve right now, 3.5 up on their time. What is this going to be? Is it challenging Kohai for P6? Close, but no cigar. Go a bit further down the grid. We have Kaito Nasa currently in 19th position, being followed by Ruby Nekomata there. Both are on hot laps. Oh, Kaito taking the curbs very aggressively, gaining quite a bit of time and not even costing Ruby that much time. Ruby, on the other hand, can even take the slipstream, but will it be enough for a pole position? Just barely not. Ruby makes it into P2. Kaito Nasa also improves by a position. Ruby just at the end of the qualifying. 100th behind Miyata. But Miyata is not done yet. Before that, we have to check back with Leggy, who is currently 8/10 up on that time. Looking to go up against Dirty Kohai and Psycho Kaiser. Just above them. Look at that. The pros are sorting themselves out. Oh, well, almost all of them. Now let's go back to Miyata, however, for these last few seconds that we have of the qualifying period. Miyata is currently 3/10 up on the time through the Casio triangle. Oh, that was very unsettled Honda. They're losing a bit of time on the exit and having to lift off there to make the car stick, and is... I think that is Miyata done with the lap. It's not going to be an improvement.
She did her lap pretty much on point of her fastest lap.
Pretty much, yeah, in the end. With that mistake that was on the exit of the Casio triangle. Iserambra as well, currently in P3. However, 2.5 up at the time now too, losing a bit of time as well. It seems like the Hondas like to get a bit unsettled through the Casio triangle. However, Iserambra keeping it and keeping a bit of time. This is going to be pole position for Iserambra with a 1:59.285.
I guess this will be a race for Hondas.
It certainly is looking that way. There's only one person left on a lap right now. It's Kaito Nasa. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like Kaito is going to improve on this lap. They're down by 2 seconds on the best lap. However, as soon as the lap is done, we are going to be switching onto the starting grid.
The Honda seems to have really big home advantage. It certainly appears that way, seeing both P1 and P2 being owned by Hondas at this point.
That is true. These are home cars. Obviously, the Honda being a Japanese car. And I seem to have a little bit of a filter in here. All right. So let's take a look at the starting grid. We have, look at all of those cars. This is beautiful to see. Top VTuber Racing with Icer Amber on pole, followed by Miata, Nekomata, Hurricane, Lichten, Laggy, Kohai, Kaiser, Kong, Gregis, Zen, Akihara, Kenneth, Zach, that's Nami Zero Zach, DJ Overdrive, Renai Dream Fox, I'm Mentric Saints, Kaito Nasa, Foxington, Amethysta VTube, Ivano, EAB,
Sensei?
it's Ivano, EAB, yeah. Ubiquitous, I forgot, I'm sorry. Ubiquitous and Pharaoh Okami rounding up the grid. Look at all of these lights, everyone. Everyone is looking to start this race beautifully. But before we can do that, we of course have a rolling start. So we are going to have to wait for a formation lap to happen, as they are currently making their way to start the formation lap. Holy moly, Adrian, that was a qualifying session, wasn't it?
It was. I am even more surprised because throughout many of the practice sessions there was a risk of rain, but instead we are having an actually clear sky tonight. So that's definitely a nice surprise for the drivers here. As this track, just like any other, is very traitorous when it's wet.
That is true, yes, and especially, I mean, there's some parts of the circuit where you just need to have grip. For example, Spoon Corner. I mean, with the variable radius there and always being on the edge the entire time is really a challenge to not lose it there in the rain. Luckily, we don't have the rain. However, that is still going to be a treacherous situation through the Spoon. What I'm interested in today is what our defending champion, Lucas Lichten, can do in the Porsche. Previously, he was not only the pace leader, but also the consistency leader when it came to the races. Now, it is... I mean, he's not anymore the pace leader, as it seems. However, could his consistency save him?
That depends how consistent the newcomers are. We know that there is a lot of new quick people, but as already mentioned, we don't necessarily know how good they really are. We will see it in the, especially, well, maybe not, well, maybe you said especially is wrong, but we will see throughout the whole race whether they have courage to stay and be driving.
Huh. Well, courage is the one thing, and keeping it safe is another thing. I mean, there are plenty of examples where people who don't have the most amount of courage, let's say, are habitually safer. Of course, they don't take the risks as much. what is going to be interesting, however, is also that Ruby Nekomata is now ahead of Lucas Lichten in terms of pace, at least around here it seems. And Ruby, as we said earlier, is an esports driver currently driving in Ferrari esports, and is being challenged by three new drivers here, three new drivers from X-Ring team. So, who is your tip to win this race today?
It's hard to give that tip from perspective of somebody who never really fought for a win on Suzuka. One obvious answer will obviously be consistency. Like if you end up not being out during the race, if you end up avoiding crashes or contacts, it might pile up in a net positive with time.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's really about it. I really don't have a clear view on what makes good driver best driver. I'm just hoping that wishing them luck will suffice, at least for now.
Well,
and hopefully we will not commentate curse anybody.
I hope so too. I've had my fair share of commentators cursing people. So now, before that is happening, we are almost about to go green. And we are going. The race is starting. Miata on the outside line here. Let's take a look. He's being challenged by Iser Ambra. Well, Iser Ambra in P2. And Ruby Nekomata slotting in P3. However, there is a battle there. Midnight Hurricane immediately taking the position. And the top three are now new Chinese drivers. They are immediately looking to make the mark as we open up the overview and see. Yes, there is a battle between Nekomata and Lucas Lichten right here. But they are currently keeping up the pace. There's already a bit of a gap opening up as Kong goes offline and has lost the M lead. The M lead has gone to Zen VT right now. Zen, of course, leading ahead of Eric Gregis and catching to the cars ahead. There was not the biggest pace difference between the likes of Kohai, Kaiser, and the lead of Am, so it is not surprising in that regard. However, the two of Zen and Gregis are already making a gap on DJ Overdrive, who is also gapping Kenneth VT. And there's a battle up ahead as Iser Ambra has lost a few positions right now. Seems to have been an issue there. Maybe going offline its Boon. Currently only in P5 from P2 earlier.
Both Ruby and Lucas Lichten took the chance of it, seeming as they both overtook him.
They both overtook him, and Ruby is now on the podium. However, there is quite the gap already opening up between Ruby Nekomata and Lucas Lichten behind, as well as a gap between Miata and Hurricane in the front. Miata immediately setting the fastest lap of the race here with a 2:03.1. Eric Gregg is also taking the opportunity here to make the move. And Zach is also looking to make positions, being in the middle of the AM field right now. However, further up ahead, Iser Ambra is looking rather racy in the Honda. Right ahead is the Porsche of Lucas Lichten. To me, it is not a question of if it will be coming, but when it will be coming. There will definitely be a move at some point. As I am afraid there has been an incident involving Zach and let's take a look if we can see what happened here. Coming out of the S's. Very racy here, very close, everyone is together. Oh, Looks like someone was already off there. And the two get side by side, and a bit of a tagging of the rear there. Oh, this is horrible. Everyone having to avoid, and a bit of a crash there into the mix. Ay, ay, ay. It's not looking good for the cars involved. I think there was Zach, Amethysta, and Zool was also involved in that.
The tunnel vision already works, it seems.
Oh, and the pressure works as well as Psycho Kaiser pressures Dirty Kohai off the circuit, who makes a mistake. Well, makes a mistake. It was there was not a touch there as far as I could see. However, further up ahead, Ruby Nekomata is challenging Midnight Hurricane right now for the position. They are not quite side by side. But Ruby Nekomata...
close enough. But close enough to do a move at any given time.
Yeah, Ruby Nekomata does have the purple lap right now with a 2 flat 0.25, and that on a full fuel tank. That is not bad. And now I think in 27 seconds the pits will open for the mandatory fuel stop, so anyone that was involved in these early collisions unfortunately is going to miss the first opportunity and will have to do one more lap around the circuit to get their cars repaired. Psycho Kaiser is right behind Leggy right now. You see the difference of lines there through the Degness. Very aggressive by Psycho Kaiser over the curbs there.
That guy is putting a lot of trust in his car. He already drove quite a many seasons with it, so he knows what the car can handle for the most part. But there are always surprises coming.
Further up ahead, just a tiny bit coming into Spoon right now. We've got Ruby Nekomata really on the rear of Midnight Hurricane now. Oh, a bit unsettled there by Midnight Hurricane. That is probably going to give Ruby Nekomata the better exit. However, is it going to be enough to go for a move in 130R? Is there going to be a move in 130R that is a dangerous place to make a move? And Ruby thinks the better of it. Goes back into position, falls back in line, waits for another moment. Go further down the circuit, we have a three-way battle here between Okami Dios and Foxington. Ubi Dios almost tagging the back there of Pharaoh Okami. Very close between the two. And is going to lose Ubi Dios a bit of position. And Pharaoh Okami goes wider in the Casio Triangle. And as you see, Sen VT also battling. Oh my god, it's happening everywhere. So many battles on the track right now. You don't know where to look. There's also still Ruby Nekomata following Midnight Hurricane and being followed by Lucas Lichten and Reiser Amber. There's 4-car battle now there's a 4-car battle now for the for P3 right now. P2 actually, P2.
That seemed very close. Now we are having here essentially 3 different manufacturers. It will be interesting to see which one of those drivers will make the most use out of the shadow, or what do you call it, the slipstream.
Oh, and it looks like Reiser Amber is going to go for it now on Lucas Lichten, but no, thinking the better of it through 130R. We know that this is a hard part to overtake. And what? Losing a bit of time, but right in front, Midnight Hurricane making it side by side, and they're touching, and Ruby Nekomata is turned around.
That is one of those risky corners where you essentially don't want to go side by side if you can avoid it. Unfortunately, It happened.
Let's take a look at that real quick again. They two are side by side. And yeah, Ruby just trying to come back here, and there is a tagging. The two BMWs touch. And Ruby Nekomata gets turned around.
It felt like it was double touch. One in the first corner and then directly after in the second corner of the stage again.
This now means that Ruby Nekomata is only in overall P8, P7 in class, right behind Eric Gregors right now. Eric Gregors letting them pass without an issue because, well, he knows this is not his fight. Eric is in the lead for M class, and Ruby was fighting for P2 just a few seconds ago. Imentrix Saints right behind Ubideus right now. And right behind that is Renai Dreamfox. This is a three-way battle for P2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in class. P6 in M class. Two new drivers, relatively speaking, and one that has been here what seems like forever. And we're very thankful, and he gets tagged. Is this a commentator's curse now? I was talking about it. It is a commentator's curse. I'm very sorry, Mentrix. You have been commentator's cursed as we go up to the front again. When Lucas Lichten is currently in P2, followed by Iser Ambra. This is the battle for a P2 between a Honda and a Porsche. Back in the day...
That Porsche?
Yeah.
Continue.
Back in the day, I wouldn't have thought that Porsche would have anything in high speed, because obviously the... No! What is this? Iser Amber trying to go for a move there. Did not quite work. Iser Amber had the worst of it. Lucas Lichten now in a relatively safe P2 right now. And I think this is exactly what we were saying at the beginning, with the consistency being key today. Lucas Lichten having been rather consistent and keeping out of trouble, or when he was in trouble, then he didn't get affected by it, as we saw just now. Got off track there, lost 1.5 seconds of lap time, but continues on, soldiering on, like the Lucas Lichten that we know. Further back ahead, we go back to Ruby Nekomata, who's currently taking on Laggy for P6 in Pro Class. So Ruby's definitely making her path back up the standing order.
The built-in pressure. They all want to be the last samurai of the race. The one that will be the longest standing driver will most probably indeed end up in the best positions possible.
Indeed, the last samurai will win this. One of the potential samurais right now is Foxington, who is right behind Okami. I mean, I will say for M-Class anyways, because this is obviously an M-Class battle here. Foxington only being half a second behind Pharaoh Okami right now. Both of them German drivers, and it looks to be like Foxington has the pace right now. Has the pace to catch up to Pharaoh Okami. Is very close behind, very close in the slipstream, taking the inside line here, which puts him on the outside for Spoon. However, not going for it. That was a interesting defensive line by Pharaoh Okami here. At the same time, we got Renai Dreamfox losing a bit of time. Let's take a look what happened there. Obviously coming through Spoon. And just losing it. They're almost taking Imentrix Saints, who's passing them. But Renai Dreamfox losing here a bit on the exit. Right behind, we have Kenneth VT. Right behind Foxington. Right behind Pharaoh Okami. And this is a three-way battle going on right here for crucial positions, crucial points in the M class. Further up ahead, Ruby Nekomata has now caught up to Psycho Kaiser. This is the next position for Ruby to catch up on the way up the standings. I'm not quite sure how far up she can still save herself. However, every position counts, especially as we're coming into the top 5. There will be higher differences between the points you can make. P1 gets 25 points, P2 20, and then it's 16, 13, 11, 10, 9, and so forth. So the higher you get, the more there will be a difference between the points you can get. So every position from now on counts very much for Ruby Nekomata's championship chances. She goes to the outside there. Psycho Kaiser really defending. Psycho doesn't want to give up this position. However, Ruby getting a much better exit here out of the Casio triangle. And this is maybe the chance that she's been hoping for. Psycho's staying in the middle, going to the outside. Will it be close enough for Ruby to actually go for the move? Oh, later on the brakes. Better on the turn-in. That is the Ruby Nekomata we know, showing how it's done. Very simple, very safe and clean overtake on Psycho Kaiser.
For a second I thought that she was willing to go side by side at the chicane, like to, like in the corner where her unfortunate spin happened. I'm kinda happy it wasn't the case, because of her much better line that she managed to get through it.
Yeah, Ruby is a very thoughtful driver, we know that. Ruby does not go for the first best opportunity if the second best is much, much simpler. Amantrix Saints now is on the rear of Ubidius. I guess that's how you pronounce it. I'm guessing I'm getting it now. This is a battle for P5 in the class of AM. It looks like in AM currently Eric Gregis is quite safe, being 6 seconds up the road of Zen and P2. However, Imantrix Saints here looking to make up positions. The two know each other, of course. Upidius having been featured in quite a few of the VTuber racing VTuber clips. That's what it's called. Oi, oi, oi.
When I think of Ubidius, the name, it gives me like a wizard vibes. So I'm kind of thinking what sort of wizardry, or if we will see any wizardry from him.
Let's take a look at the livery. It's a green livery. If we're going by Lord of the Rings standards, that would mean it's Ubidius the Green. Which, as owner
One of the druids.
One of the druids, yeah. I mean, possibly the 6th one, the one that we don't know about.
Well, Tolkien, you heard us.
Tolkien, you heard us from from wherever you are right now. Haitanasa trying to go for an overtake here on Ivano EAB, who is struggling with the Reiter. I mean, props for choosing the Reiter. Props for getting this beautiful livery done just in time. It is going to be a challenge to battle it. Not everyone is Mike Deeringer. Ivano trying to evoke the feeling of the Deeringer, though. It's definitely nice to see a Reiter on the grid. And it seems to be a drive-through for Icer Ambra.
Track limits? Maybe?
Well, most definitely track limits. There was not a pit stop yet. That probably means that has been quite a lot of pushing. I mean, Icer Ambra currently with one of the fastest laps on the circuit, pushing to the limits. Unfortunately, the limit had been hit a few times too many already at this point. Honestly, I don't even know where the best place to get track limit warnings is around Suzuka.
One place I can imagine being in the 130R when you try to go way too far out of the corner, while it's still somewhat safe in most cases. You can end up going way too far, and that can give you a warning. So I wouldn't be surprised if we tried to use all of the Kirkut armor than really needed in this case.
And it looks like Ubidius lost a few positions here. Lost 2 positions, was overtaken by Imantric Saints and Renai Dreamfox managing to make it stick as well in 200R, I think, is the long right-hander. Iceramber in the meanwhile leaving the pits. Not the pit done, however the drive-through done, and is in P9 overall now, having battled for P2 overall earlier in the race. In the meantime, Ubidius right here is not looking too healthy right now. It looks like Kenneth VT is lining up a move as well, if Ubidius is not able to catch back up to Renai Dreamfox, who is following iMetric Science very closely right now. Further back, we have the American muscle power of Nami Zero Zack in the Ford Mustang, overtaking Kaito Nasa on the outside there. However, Kaito immediately fighting back. Oh, those two are just having fun. They're not in the same classes. However, they're just having fun. And Renai Dreamfox seemed to have an issue just now as Kenneth VT went past. And let's take a look if we can see what happened there. Just going off at the beginning of the S's. Well, that's unfortunate for Renai Dreamfox there.
And that seems like a lot of damage in any case.
Oh yeah, probably collected the wall earlier and now having troubles to keep it or in between the white lines, even going wide there at the Degnus. Zack is still trying to get past Pharaoh Okami there. We're losing a bit of time out of the corner now. This means that the closest battle we have on track right now is Kenneth VT following Ubidius. As they're coming on the back straight, we see the second pits there. Oh, both of them having a rather good line through there. There's nothing gained, nothing lost between the two.
And that seemed to have a more flowy line. Seems like to me that he will have a good chance at getting the place away from Ubidius.
Kenneth does have really good lines, it looks right now. And Isa Ambra is currently in the pits, probably for the mandatory pit stop. Which will be the first of the front runners to fulfill it. Kenneth VT, however, getting really close there. Almost too close for comfort to Ubidius here. Pharaoh Kami is now also in the pits. As well as Renai Dreamfox. All of them... Oh, Renai, we know, also repairing damage as Kenneth VT is going for it on the outside. Into the Degnus, and the next one... out of the Degnus actually, and the next one is the Degnus, or the S's, Degnus, too many corner names, and Kenneth VT made the move stick and is already gapping Ubidius. It looks like Kenneth has more pace going on.
At the beginning, it looked like to me that he was about to spin, but he kept the car very nicely grounded on the outside on the outside side of the corners. I guess going side by side could have spooked the Ubidius from possibly pushing further, and that worked hugely to advantage of Kenneth.
Indeed it did. So, Renai Dreamfox currently in the pits, probably repairing the damage, and it will probably take quite a bit of time as she's looking on Pharaoh Okami right ahead in the pits. And Pharaoh Okami being dropped right now. but not going. Interesting. In any case, the closest battle we have on track right now is Midnight Hurricane, who seems to be catching up to Lucas Lichten, keeping the distance between the two at about 1 second right now. What will be interesting, as I've seen it mentioned in the chat right now, is whether someone will try to, or anyone for that matter, will try to extend the first stint for as long as they can, just in order to drive in clean air as long as possible. And I could definitely see the likes of Miata doing that, as Miata we see is catching up already to the to a few back markers there. So someone did just exit the pits. I think there was Dreamfox, Renai Dreamfox. However, we see right up ahead is Ivano EAB, and Ruby Nekomata is coming into the pits now for the mandatory pit stop. Now this is a bit early. Actually, 5
Tell
minutes
me
early.
tell me if I am mistaken, please. Isn't Honda one of the cars that have heavier tire wear in comparison to other cars?
Unfortunately,
Because-
I am not the... I don't know.
Because I know there are cars that are dealing with it better, so I'm wondering how much riskier could it be going with the long run for the Hondas.
Well, I mean, you might say that, but then again, we have seen in the past that the Porsche... Well, Porsche is said to be one of the more heavier cars when it comes to tire wear. However, we have seen drivers like in TGT Alvin Wong not struggling with that in the slightest, it seems. And I wonder if it's maybe just a driver on a driver basis, and that Miata can nurse these tires better. Maybe the setup is a bit different. Maybe the tire suspension of the caster and the camber, the caster and the toe are a bit less aggressive in order to save a bit more tires. We will all see that, I think, and I don't actually rightly know how the Honda is going to handle that. So Ruby has tried doing a bit of undercutting, it seems. Finds herself in a big hole right now, 20 seconds behind the next car up ahead. So it seems like this pit stop was timed to perfection in order to get just clean driving out, just clean track, clean air, clean driving, get a bit of the safer laps in right now, hoping to undercut drivers up in front.
Especially seeing that Psycho is now bidding right now. They are in some luck though, because Suzuka is having one of the seemingly shorter pit lines in comparison to other tracks. What is surprising considering how long the track is and how long the average lap takes.
It is a bit of a shorter pit, that is correct, especially when you compare it to the likes of Spa-Francorchamps. Which,
Yeah,
obviously in ACC it has the endurance pits for anyone that doesn't know.
The drive through there takes just as long as the normal lap of Spa. That's what it really looks like.
Basically, the Ruby is now even in cleaner air, because Mo Kong, who was the next car up in front, is in the pits now. So Ruby now has 28 seconds to the next car up on the road. I think this pit stop was timed to perfection by Ruby Nekomata in a try to undercut, as we saw that Reina Miata has already been catching a few back markers. Midnight Hurricane now coming up to Lucas Lichten rather closely. It seems like Lucas is going into the pits now. One of the first of the real front runners, I dare to say right now, is coming into the pits at 31 minutes 30. So the second stint is going to be slightly longer for Lucas Lichten. Only very slightly though, as also Nami0 Zach is in the pits, Kong is in the pits, and Kenneth VT is also in the pits right now. Leggy as well coming into the pits. This means Eric Regis is currently on a provisional overall P3. I mean, it just shows how quick Eric Regis is around this circuit. Also being 4 seconds up the road of Dirty Kohai, which is mostly on pace. We've seen Dirty Kohai had 1 or 2 issues before.
And it sums up to being over 20 seconds of difference between the P1 and P2 in the AM class. With then VTuber VV2 be pretty much 22 seconds away from getting his pole position in AM class.
Yeah. We
And
have a
seems
stop
like
30 for Zach. Unfortunately, it seems like there was a speeding in the pit lane, which caused the Ford driver, our only Ford driver today, to unfortunately get a stop go 30. Now back to the battle of iMetric Saints, who is following Kong. What do you think of iMetric Saints' position right at this moment?
Still hard to say. He still have quite a few people in front of him that are currently pitting. We will see if he will be there at the end of the pit lane, the moment when other 2 people drive out. If it happens, that will probably sow quite a bit of a confusion from the person driving right in front of him. And if that happens, it might open quite a few possibilities, especially in turn 1 and then future combination in the snake.
In the meantime, Dirty Kohai is now... I think this is the first time Dirty Kohai is in the lead of an Assetto Corsa Competizione race on track.eu. So collecting the first lead kilometers, maybe full lead laps here, is nice to see, as Miata is now exiting the pits, coming up right ahead of DJ Overdrive, who has not pit yet. Zen is now in the pits, however, and Eric Regis is as well in the pits. So that is the 2 AM leaders up here, and we now see that Midnight Hurricane is 2.2 seconds down on Ruby. So I think Ruby gained a bit of time on Midnight Hurricane there.
Eric Regis got unfortunate stop and go 30. Does that make DJ have a chance for an AM win?
Well, it does, but then there's also Zen, who's currently... who also gets his stop go 30!
What?
Did I just do the second Caster's Curse today already? My second?
I think we are partially at fault.
Oh my holy
In this case,
hell.
maybe let's not talk about DJ from now on, or else he gets another one. That will be pretty sad.
I'm so sorry, Zen. Oh. The caster's cursing. I am the professional caster's cursor here. I mean, no one can do it as good as I can, as Zen is having a bit of struggle there with... What's that? Is that... Iserambra, who went for an overtake.
Quoting one of the YouTube comments right now, nobody wants to win AM, I guess.
Yeah. Well, maybe they think if they win AM, they have to race in Pro.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe they think
DJ
that.
is driving in Pro.
Okay. Now Amethysta. Oh my god, there's many cars here. And Amethysta is 0.6 of a second behind Ubidius.
I can imagine DJ. I can imagine DJ driving right now with one big grin on his face, being on that provisional P2 as of right now.
Yeah, DJ Overdrive will be enjoying this very much. Definitely. I think this is the furthest up he's been in quite a while at least. As Eric Regis is now coming to the pits to stop go 30. And Amethysta, unfortunately, they lost a bit of time to Ubidius.
I have feeling that our third is having yet another stop go 30. Wasn't he just making it?
Our third? What do you mean?
Our Zach. Is it possible that he got another stop and go 30? I think I saw him in the pits doing it. Or he mistook it for a drive-thru.
Yeah, he has already done it and seems to have done it again. Oh, that was... Ooh.
Oh!
That looked close again. Oh. I mean, I guess we're going to see if it's going to be clear now. However, Eric Regis, even with the stop-go 30, is currently still in the lead in the provisional lead of AM. Well, I mean, we'll have to see where DJ Overdrive comes out after doing the pit stop. Let's see. Not coming in yet. Just chilling in the front. But Eric Regis is now 8 seconds up on... 9 seconds up on Mokong, who is 8 seconds up on Imentric State. That means it's still a pretty comfortable lead for Eric Regis, despite having a stop-go 30. This just shows how comfortable he is in this combination here. But yeah, we're going to have to see how DJ Overdrive handles this entire situation, because DJ Overdrive is the only one in the entire grid who hasn't done the mandatory pit stop yet. And is quite a ways up on Eric Regis. I think it will be enough if DJ Overdrive just pits now. I think they will still be in the lead by then. And
I wouldn't be surprised.
And as we expected, Nami0 Zach has now got the third stop go 30. Now, let's hope this just doesn't happen again. However, Lucas Lichten is coming up now to DJ Overdrive, probably being rather annoyed that he's right in front of him, but look at the traction of that Porsche. I mean, he's got newer tires, fair, but he's also got a bigger fuel load. However, in the straight line, the Lexus is just pulling away. Through 130R though, the Porsche easily takes the position. Lucas Lichten very safe there on the overtake, now being again back in P2. Now DJ Overdrive is finally going into the pits, and now, I mean, this is the moment we've all been waiting for, isn't it? We're going to have to see how... Where's Eric Regis right now? Eric Regis is only going through the Degnas. Oh, that means pretty much in the beginning of the second sector, and DJ Overdrive has just now come to a stop. That means 30-second pit stop now, if there is no repair for any additional damages that doesn't need repairing for, technically. And then he still has to exit the pits. Is this going to be... all of that.
All that power with fresh tires.
Oh, yeah. But then again, also, the tires may be fresh, but the tires will also be a bit cold. Eric Gregus' tires will have been warmed by now. The DJ Overdrive, let's see. Eric Gregus is now on the back straight. DJ Overdrive, is he moving? Is he getting dropped? He's moving already!
Yes.
Eric Gregus is not even in 130R, and DJ Overdrive has already left the pits. Holy hell. This could be DJ Overdrive's race to lose, as we see Eric Gregus is currently in the Casio Triangle. DJ Overdrive already in the first corner. So Eric Gregus will not even see DJ Overdrive for the foreseeable future. 17 seconds down the road is Eric Gregus compared to DJ Overdrive right now. And this is going to be this is going to be interesting if Eric Gregus has such a good pace that he can catch up that distance. And there's a yellow flag right up ahead. That was Renai Dreamfox getting unsettled there. I mean, the Audi is a challenging car. Fair enough to get that unsettled here. So as we're now past the pits cycle, everyone has done the mandatory stop. Let's quickly check out the running order. We have in P1 Rainer Miata for X-Ring Racing Club, followed by Lucas Lichten for Team Mofu Mofu. Ruby Nekomata is currently in P3 for Queen's Design Panon Formula, only 3 seconds down the road from Lucas Lichten. Midnight Hurricane 10 seconds down from Ruby Nekomata for X-Ring Igo VTuber Racing Club. Psycho Kaiser in P5 for Technoburst Racing VT. Dirty Kohai in P6, racing for Dirty Kohai. Agay Leggy for X-Ring and Igo in P7, and Iser Ambra in currently P8, going a bit wide there. Then we have the lead of the AM class is currently in the hands of DJ Overdrive, but Eric Gregus is catching, making up 2 seconds since we last looked at that already, followed by Mo Kong, who's then 14 seconds down the road in P3 for AM class. Imagic Saints is P4 in AM class. Zen VT is P5 in AM class, but catching Imagic Saints right now. There's going to be a battle developing here. P6 is Kenneth VT. Ubidius is P7. Amethysta P8. Aitonasa P9. Ivano in P10. Zulakihara P11. Renai Dreamfox in 11. Foxington currently in the pits. Provisional P12 at the moment. Zach coming in for the stop go 30, and Pharaoh Okami is still in the running after quickly having left the server, I think I saw there. In any case, Zula Kihara is looking to overtake Ivano right now, who really seems to be struggling in his rider. As a fellow enjoyer of the old cars, what do you think is going through Ivano right now, Adrian?
Keep it going. He's just praying to his car. that's every single time when I'm driving with V12, I'm like, of course I'm not saying it loudly, but I'm like in my head, come on beauty, come on, keep up. Because I just believe in V12, if you really let it flow, it really works. But you just need to understand the car, and that's something that many people have trouble with. I know what my V12 is capable of doing. I strongly believe that Evan knows it as well. He knows what his car wants him pretty much to say, and he is just doing what the car wants to do. As long as he keeps doing, if we are being spiritual, he will be able to safely bring it to the finish line.
As long as he's spiritual, he will be able to finish the race. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. And it is a beautiful car. The Reiter Gallardo with the Wild Things livery right here. Ivano, unfortunately, having been overtaken by 2 cars, as we saw it right there. Maybe there's a bit of damage. It just doesn't feel like he's comfortable right now. He probably does not have the mindset of keep it going beautiful right now.
Well, truth be told, Suzuka is probably not one of the tracks where the Gallardo would really show its wrath. More the likes of Imola, maybe Monza, maybe even Bathurst. But this track is more technical than based on the pure power. I think something happened to Audi.
Renai Dreamfox, yeah, losing it there, and ooh, bit of a sketchy rejoin there. But yeah, there will be Bathurst later on in the season. So
in the meantime, Greg is already 10 seconds away from DJ.
Yeah, it's closer than 10 seconds now, and that has been very quick. It was only in 5 minutes, I believe, that he caught up 5 seconds, basically. Was it 5? Well, was it 17 in the beginning, right? There was like...
I think it's been like 2 or 3 laps now.
Yeah, this is going very quickly right now. And if we look at the lap times, then we can see why. Eric Regis last lap did a 2:01.6. Very good lap. Would put him up into P5 overall right now, just on lap time basis alone. And DJ Overdrive last time around did a 2:05.3. So it might be that DJ Overdrive is just making mistakes right now. Having set a valid lap, however, now with a 2:03.8. We'll have to see what Eric is doing, a 2:02.1. So in this lap, Eric Regis caught 1.7 seconds on DJ Overdrive. If he continues this pace, it will just be enough to be behind DJ Overdrive. However, will it be enough to then also do the overtake? Because you cannot forget, you have to stick the landing as well. As we saw Eric Regis there navigating past Ivano EAB in the Gallardo. Another person that is catching, but on a slower scale, is Ruby Nekomata, who is trying to take P2 away from Lucas Lichten. Previously having been 3 seconds behind a few laps back, now 2.2 seconds currently behind. However, it's been a stable race so far by Rainer Miata, who is racing with Vtracc right now for the first time, according to what I know. Having even been able to navigate traffic, and Zach getting a drive-through there, maybe for track limits. As Kenneth VT is now picking up the pace again and catching up to Imentrix Saints. The Germans are going to battle. Wait, don't take that out of context, please.
Yeah.
This would be the battle for P5, because Imentrix Saints is currently in P5 in AM class. Kenneth VT is in P6. However, the distance seems to be quite stable at around a second right now. Renai Dreamfox, on the other hand, is catching up to Ivano after going off earlier in Degnes. Really catching the rider.
I guess we are seeing right now the... I wanted to say maneuverability of Audi and how nimble the car is. It seems like it was a little bit too nimble.
Unfortunately, it is nimble, it is navigable, but there is also a bit of its downfall, isn't it? Because well, it is rather twitchy, especially in certain conditions like weight transfer. So that is pretty much the Audi's downfall, and I believe that in the S's especially, it is quite challenging. It is quite challenging.
This is what I felt when I tried the R8 for the first time. The car itself feels quick, but it gives you a very floaty feeling, as if the car had very little weight on it. And that really puts you at disadvantage against the planted cars, especially the older ones in this case.
Yeah. Luckily, however, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we're racing Spa-Francorchamps this season, because that is pretty much the only circuit in ACC that can be even more challenging, as Kenneth VT easily takes the position from Mentrix. You could also almost believe that Mentrix gave the position to Kenneth VT.
He even seems to have blinked him. At least with the front lights, not the rear ones. Did he thank you for it, possibly?
I don't know. In any case, yeah, Audi is a challenging car in ACC, and this is a challenging track for it, certainly. If we're going further up ahead, Ruby Nekomata is inching ever closer, but also in another place on the circuit, Eric Regis is now only 2.5 seconds away from DJ Overdrive. I think Eric is listening to us and he's really been picking up the pace. Either that or DJ Overdrive is just crumbling under the pressure.
There could be a psychological fight. In a sense, I know after me that the night races make me a bit more sleepy and lose concentrations quicker. Is it the same thing with DJ? We don't know, but I wouldn't be so surprised if that was really the case. Because seeing night and being in a cockpit essentially with the immersion that the ACC sometimes gives you, I wouldn't be surprised if it does have such a mentally draining effect on DJ.
Fair enough. And oh, is that a car with the lights turned off? Is that Zula Kihara? That is Zula Kihara. And is it a damaged car? Oh my ho ho! We did not need this touch. And I hope Zula Kihara is going into the pits to repair that damage now, because that is a very dangerous car. He's not going into the pits. What are you doing? You don't have any lights and it's night.
Oh, no. Now he fixed it.
No, he has some.
Either that or it was a glitch on the game's end.
But yeah, Eric is going for the inside now and they're touching. And both are synchronized spinning.
And DJ happened to have a better end of it. Within the last 10 minutes. Well, 8.5.
8.5 minutes left, and DJ Overdrive now managed to get a bit of distance between himself and Eric Regis, because that move, oh, I mean, the stewards are going to have a field day looking at that. Further up ahead, an update on Miata. It seems to have lost a bit of time recently. Only 10 seconds ahead of Lucas Lichten right now. And Lucas Lichten keeping it stable 2 seconds ahead of Ruby Nekomata in P3. Back to the battle for M lead, because Eric Regis is catching again. Is within 1 second now. Immediately, pretty much after 1 sector, from 2.5 seconds down to 1 second again. Eric really wants this win. Oh, but you can see, from time to time, you can just see DJ Overdrive going off the circuit into the grass a bit, picking up a bit of the dust. And I think it's just either wanting too much out of the car, wanting too much out of his skill, or just not being able to pay attention anymore. at this time. 6.5, a bit more than 6.5 minutes left towards the end of the race.
Out of curiosity, I tried to see what's the speed difference between them, not in terms of a lap time, but of top speed. And they are even.
Well, that's
They both are
interesting.
hitting 200. They both are hitting 263. The same speed that Ruby Nekomat and Midnight Hurricane is hitting in their Ws, BMWs.
Oh, there's another touch!
And that one seems a bit more severe than the other one. That...
Let's take a look at that from the sky again. The two side by side into the first corner, and the different driving lines just touching one another, and they're also hindering the leader of Miata just a bit there. This means, however, that DJ Overdrive is now suddenly 8 seconds ahead of Eric Regis again. Just a bit over 5.5 minutes from the end of the race. Miata also got caught up in that a bit. Let's see, it does not look like there's any significant damage on the front of that car.
But we know how finicky Kentairo and the handling of a Honda NS6B.
Yeah, definitely. Many of the cars, especially the mid-engine cars, it seems to me, are very reliant on their aero balance. And when that is upset just a bit, the car will be very upset.
Pit window is now closed.
Pit window is closed. Everyone got the mandatory pit stops in. Ruben Ekamata is catching, well, sort of floating between 1 and 2 seconds behind Lucas Lichten. It seems that every time that Ruby is gaining on Lucas, Lucas manages to gain, and Reina is off. Reina was off
Was
there.
it precisely?
Reina maybe hit the wall. Let's see if we can see anything. Yeah, probably
Oh,
just
so late.
went wide after 130R. Maybe hit the wall there.
Would it be the aero problem that we just mentioned like a minute ago? How very dependent the car is on it?
I mean, 130R is a very aero-dependent corner on the high speeds that you take it. However, all of this means that Reina is now in a very damaged car, and Lucas Lichten is right behind. What did we say in the beginning of the raid? Keeping it safe. Oh, Reina is making that Honda as wide as a battleship.
He's making him fight for it. You can just see it. Oh!
Oh, but now
That's
this is a three-way battle for T1 now, because Ruby is right now on the rear of Lucas Lichten as well. Lucas, of course, easily taking the position here, and now Ruby, going for it! But the touch.
Oof.
That was a bit sketch here. Which means that Ruby is now 2 seconds behind Lucas Lichten again. Lucas Lichten now in clean air. Well, there is a back marker a bit ahead of Lucas Lichten, but Ruby Nekomatsa now has to do the work all over again to catch back up to that. I think Reina Miata, though, with the damage, may even still lose the podium. Yeah, no pace. Eric Regis is catching up. Yeah, and we see now, Eric Regis with the straight line speed, just easily passing the former leader there, Reina Miata. The damage of the Honda must be enormous right now. However, at this moment in time, you just cannot pit anymore. It's too late for that. Midnight Hurricane, however, is catching 5 seconds behind now only. Just a sector ago, Midnight Hurricane was 8 seconds behind.
Understeer?
Understeering off the circuit, and that's Midnight Hurricane being able to catch up there. Someone has overtaken Miata there, unlapped themselves. Midnight Hurricane is coming though, only within a second now coming into the first corner. Now look at that front of that Honda. That is not drivable anymore. And unsurprisingly, Midnight Hurricane easily takes the position, easily takes P3, and that is the leader of the entire race pretty much. Now relegated to only P4, 19 seconds behind is Psycho Kaiser. And
it seemed more like that Reina Miyata knew she's not anymore in a place for fight for position, so she purposefully seemed to be waiting on the outside of the corner for Midnight Hurricane to make a safer pass.
That is understandable. The two are working closely together. Both are within the X-Ring ecosystem. The next question, however, is whether Psycho Kaiser is close enough to also gain upon that, gain the P4, which would be a great relief for Psycho after the qualifying, which did not look nearly as good as it could have. Reina Miyata now already, we know how long ago she's been overtaken for third position by Hurricane. Already 7 seconds behind. The damage on that Honda is just making it unbearable to drive, it seems. As we see the leader, Lucas Lichten, right now, coming around the last few corners. And there is going to be one more lap. And this one more lap, Ruben Ekumata would have to catch 1.6 seconds on Lucas Lichten to just catch up. Reina Miyata has to nurse 11 seconds of delta to Psycho Kaiser behind. Psycho Kaiser we see here exiting the Casio triangle. For the leader VAM, DJ Overdrive is 2 seconds only ahead of Eric Gregis now. Both of them are on their final lap as well. Actually, yeah, Lucas Licht is right ahead of them. So Eric Gregis would have to catch up 1.8 seconds as of right now and do the overtake. Ruben Ekumata, however, is sort of catching. Now only 1.3 seconds. Really late pace, spurred on by the potential to get a race win. She has a much better best lap today than Lucas Lichten. 1:59.87. Lucas Lichten only a 2.4. So Ruby does have the pace advantage on a single lap. But 1.5 seconds now back, as there seems to be a back marker on the outside that they're navigating. Yeah, that is the Aston Martin of, it looks like, Zula Kihara. It looks like Lucas Lichten is winning this race, and safely so. Lucas Lichten coming around 130R, showing us today consistency is key. Lucas Lichten having been involved in a few incidents, however, never really heavily affected by any of them. Our reigning champion wins the first race of the season. Right ahead, Ruby Nekomata in third position, coming around the last curve now is Midnight Hurricane, finishing in P3, and Reina Miyata is being caught right now by Psycho Kaiser, just 2 cars behind. Reina Miyata in the last curve right now. It is just not going to be enough for Psycho Kaiser to make it, as Reina Miyata nurses this heavily damaged NSX to 4th position. Psycho Kaiser in P5. Dirty Kohai managing to get a P6 finish. Leggy coming around for a P7. And Icer Ambra in a P8. The M class was won by DJ Overdrive after quite a few collisions between themselves and Eric Gregis, who finished in P2 of the M class. Kong is the third person on the podium for M class, followed by Zen in 4th and Kenneth in 5th. Imanchik Saints is on 6th. Ubidius in 7th. Amethysta VTuber in 8th. Kaitonasa finishing... actually, Kaitonasa finishing for 9th there. Sulakihara in 10th. Ivano in 19th. Zach is in the final pro position. And G. Foxington is in 21st overall. Right, Dream Fox in 22nd and Sarah Okami in 23rd. Oh my word, there was so much going on there. So many incidents that we did not hope for, especially between lead cars. This has been really surprising turnouts for the storylines that developed. What did you think of the race today?
Well, we said the consistency is a key scene before Lucas Lichten's space. I didn't thought that he would be very far into the positions, but he managed to get P1 despite kind of my expectations. It really shows consistency is the key, like you mentioned.
It really does.
Lucas had the sharpest katana out of all the people in here probably, and he was not worried of using it.
Oh my word.
He was ultimately the last samurai of the raid.
He was the last samurai. And as Lucas Lichten, the last samurai, managed to win this pro class battle, which had some very interesting twists and turns spread around itself. I say thank you all so much for watching. Thanks for every single driver for participating in the race today. I hope everyone enjoyed what happened today, even though there were some situations. But Suzuka at night is always a bit of a challenge. It's always nice to look at, however. And yeah, with that, thank you all so much for watching. You can subscribe to the channel if you want. You can also come to our Discord server to chat with us or to race with us even. We also have non-VTuber leagues. Next week there will be the next race of the non-VTuber league that is open for everyone at Alton Park. So yeah. But until then there will also be the next stream. And until then, thank you so much for watching. And see you on the racetrack.
Have a good evening.